I wake up choking. Not on air, on fear. It claws up my throat so violently that my body jerks before my mind even catches up. My eyes snap open to a ceiling I don't recognize. Too high. Too white. A chandelier hangs above me like a frozen explosion of crystal, glittering coldly as if mocking how small I feel beneath it. My wrists burn. I try to move and a sharp pain rips through my shoulders. Rope. Thick, coarse rope digging into my skin, tying my hands behind the chair. My ankles are bound too. I'm seated upright, forced into stillness like an exhibit. My breathing turns shallow. No. My voice comes out cracked, barely more than air. I look down. My clothes are still on, but they're not mine anymore. Someone changed them. A clean white shirt clings to my chest, the collar open just enough to expose the frantic rise and fall of my breathing. My shoes are gone. I hate that detail the most. It makes me feel stripped. Claimed. I'm not alone. I feel it before I see him, the weight of another presence, heavy and deliberate. Then footsteps echo across marble. Slow. Unhurried. Like he has all the time in the world and I don't have any at all. I lift my head. He's standing near the tall windows, backlit by the city lights outside. The glass stretches from floor to ceiling, revealing a skyline glowing gold and cruel beyond the darkness. He's tall. Broad shoulders wrapped in a black suit that looks tailored to his body like it was made for violence. His hair is dark, slicked back neatly, not a strand out of place. Not a man who rushes. Not a man who loses control. When he turns, his eyes lock onto me. Something inside me collapses. They're dark. Not angry, loose. Assessing. Like I'm not a person but a number that needs balancing. You're awake, he says. His voice is low. Smooth. It slides under my skin instead of bouncing off it. I swallow hard. Where am I? He walks toward me. Each step echoes, slow and deliberate, until he's standing close enough that I can smell him. Leather, smoke, something expensive and masculine that makes my stomach twist. My house, he answers simply. I shake my head weakly. You kidnapped the wrong person. I don't have anything. I'm nobody. A corner of his mouth lifts just slightly. Nobody doesn't end up here. He reaches out. I flinch before he even touches me. That seems to amuse him. 2 fingers grip my chin and tilt my face upward. His touch is firm, unyielding, forcing me to meet his eyes. I hate how easily my body responds, how my breath stutters, how heat crawls up my neck even as terror floods me. He studies my face closely. Too closely. You look softer than I imagined, he murmurs. Your brother described you differently. My heart slams against my ribs. My brother? There it is, he says quietly. Recognition. My throat tightens painfully. Please. If this is about him, then let me go. I swear, I don't know anything. He doesn't tell me things. I barely see him anymore. His fingers don't loosen. If anything, they tighten slightly. He stole from me. The words land like a gunshot. 3 million, he continues calmly. Money. Information. Assets that don't belong to him. My vision blurs. That's impossible. He wouldn't. He did. The pause. And then, the man adds, eyes never leaving mine, he disappeared. Cold dread seeps into my bones. Where is he? I whisper. His gaze sharpens. If I knew that, you wouldn't be here. My breath breaks. Please. I can help you find him. I'll do anything. Just let me go. His thumb brushes lightly under my chin, almost tender. The contrast terrifies me. You already are helping, he says. I shake my head desperately. I don't understand. You're collateral. The word hits harder than any slap. Your brother took what was mine, he continues. So until he pays me back, I take something of his. His eyes lower briefly, tracing the line of my throat, the rise of my chest, the tremble I can't control. You. My stomach twists violently. I can't pay 3 million. I don't even have 3,000. I know. That scares me more. Then why? Because, he interrupts softly, you matter to him. A tear slips down my cheek before I can stop it. He notices. His gaze lingers on it, something unreadable flickering behind his eyes. What's your name? He asks. I hesitate, saying it feels like giving him power. But I already have none. Eli. Eli, he repeats, tasting it slowly. My chest tightens. My name is Adrian, he says. And from now on, you belong to me. My body reacts before my mind does. I shake my head violently, panic surging. No, no, please. I'll die here. I can't. I'm not strong like him. I can't survive this. His hand drops from my chin. He straightens, towering over me. You don't need to be strong, Adrian says. You just need to endure. He turns away, already losing interest, and gestures casually toward the door. Untie him. Take him to the east wing. Two men step out of the shadows. I hadn't even seen them. No, wait. I cry, thrashing weakly against the ropes. Please, Adrian. I'll break. I swear I will. He pauses at the doorway. Looks back at me. For a split second, something shifts in his expression. Something dark. Possessive. Almost curious. That, he says quietly, is not my problem. The ropes are cut. Rough hands drag me to my feet. My legs nearly give out beneath me, my body trembling violently as they haul me down a long corridor lined with locked doors and silent portraits watching my humiliation. As they shove me into a large bedroom and the door slams shut behind me, I collapse onto the floor, sobbing into the cold marble. Somewhere in this monstrous mansion, my brother is running. And I'm paying for it with my life. I don't sleep. I try to. God knows I try. I crawl onto the edge of the bed like it might bite me if I move too much, curl into myself, and squeeze my eyes shut until they ache. But every time I start to drift, I feel it. The house. It breathes. Not literally, but the silence shifts, stretches, tightens, like something alive is paying attention. The kind of attention that waits. I sit up abruptly, chest heaving, fingers digging into the black sheets. They're cold. Everything here is cold. Even the air feels measured, controlled. I swing my legs off the bed and immediately regret it. My knees wobble, strength draining out of me like I've been sick for days. I grab the bedpost just to stay upright. Get it together, I whisper to myself. My voice sounds small in here. Wrong. I force myself to stand and stagger toward the bathroom. It's attached to the room, massive and marble and painfully clean. I barely recognize the reflection staring back at me in the mirror. My face is pale. Eyes red, glassy. My lower lip trembles even when I try to stop it. The collar of the white shirt hangs loose on my shoulders, making me look smaller than I already am. Breakable. I grip the sink hard. This isn't real, I tell my reflection. This is just a nightmare. He'll realize this is a mistake. He has to. But even as I say it, Adrian's voice echoes in my head. You belong to me. My stomach twists violently. I lean forward, gagging, but nothing comes up. I haven't eaten. I don't even know when the last time was. A knock sounds on the bedroom door. I flinch so hard I hit my elbow against the counter. Eli. His voice carries through the door, calm, unraised, impossible to ignore. I shake my head instinctively, backing away. I can't. Please. I didn't do anything. Open the door. My throat tightens. It's locked. The pause. Then the lock clicks. The door opens. Adrian steps inside like he owns the air. Like the room rearranges itself to make space for him. He's changed. No suit jacket now, just a black shirt rolled up at the sleeves, exposing forearms corded with muscle. No weapon visible this time, which somehow makes him more dangerous. His gaze flicks over me quickly, clinically. You didn't sleep, he says. It's not a question. I tried, I whisper. He studies me for a moment longer than necessary, eyes lingering on the way my shoulders cave inward, how my fingers curl nervously into my sleeves. You'll learn, he says finally. Everyone does. I shake my head. I won't. He steps closer. One step. Then another. I retreat until my back hits the sink, trapped between marble and MAFiA. I'm not here to hurt you, he says. I let out a broken laugh. You kidnapped me. Yes. You tied me up. Yes. You told me I belonged to you. His eyes darken slightly. Yes. My voice shatters. How is that not hurting me? For the first time, he hesitates. Just for a fraction of a second, but I see it. Pain, Adrian says slowly, is relative. I swallow hard, tears burning again. Then let me go. Please. I'll disappear. You'll never see me again. That, he replies, would defeat the purpose. I squeeze my eyes shut. What do you want from me? He doesn't answer immediately. Instead, he reaches out, not to grab me, but to lift a loose thread on my sleeve, rolling it thoughtfully between his fingers like he's considering something valuable. I want your brother to come back, he says at last. Alive. Hope surges so fast it makes me dizzy. You'll let him live? If he returns what he stole. And me? My voice trembles. What happens to me? Adrian looks at me then. Really looks. You stay, he says. Until he does. My knees weaken. I slide down the counter before I can stop myself, collapsing onto the floor. The sound that leaves me is ugly, half sob, half gasp. I can't, I cry. I can't survive this place. I don't belong here. He crouches in front of me. The movement is slow, deliberate, dominant. You don't get to choose where you belong, Adrian says quietly. Only whether you break. His hand comes up, not rough this time. 2 fingers press under my chin, lifting my face. Tears spill freely now, streaking hot down my cheeks. Look at me, he orders. I obey. I hate that I obey. His thumb brushes 1 tear away, uncharacteristically gentle. You're safer here than anywhere else right now, he says. My enemies won't touch you. My men won't touch you. My chest hiccups. And you. His eyes lock onto mine. That, he murmurs, depends on you. A shiver runs through me that has nothing to do with fear, and everything to do with the way his gaze lingers, heavy and possessive, like he's already decided something I haven't been told yet. He stands abruptly. Food will be brought up, Adrian says. Eat. I don't feel. Eat, he repeats, sharper now. I nod weakly. He turns to leave, then pauses at the door. Oh, Eli. Yes. My voice is barely there. This room, he adds calmly, is not a prison. Hope flickers again before I can stop it. It's a sanctuary, he finishes. For now. The door closes behind him with a soft click. I curl in on myself on the cold floor, shaking. Because I don't know what terrifies me more. That my brother might never come back. Or that part of me is starting to feel safest when Adrian is near. Night doesn't arrive here. It just deepens. The mansion doesn't dim or soften the way normal places do. The lights remain steady, white and unforgiving, casting clean shadows that leave nowhere to hide. I don't know what time it is. I don't know how long Adrian has been gone. I only know that my body feels like it's been stretched too thin, nerves pulled tight until even breathing hurts. I don't touch the bed. I sit on the floor instead, my back against the wall, knees drawn to my chest, arms wrapped around myself like I can keep myself from unraveling if I hold on hard enough. I try not to think, but my thoughts don't listen. My brother's face flashes in my mind, laughing, careless, always promising he'd fix things tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. It never does. And now I'm here, paying for it with every terrified breath. I press my forehead against my knees. Please be alive. I don't know who I'm praying to anymore. At some point, hunger becomes pain. It's sharp and twisting, gnawing at my insides until my hands shake uncontrollably. I hate that my body betrays me so easily. I hate that I feel weak for needing food, warmth, rest, things Adrian can control without even trying. The tray is still there. I crawl toward it eventually, movement slow and unsteady, like I'm learning how to exist again. I don't stand. I don't want to. Standing feels like confidence, and I don't have any left. I eat with my fingers. It's messy, undignified. I don't care. I barely taste the food before tears start falling into it. My chest tightens painfully as my body realizes it's safe enough to fall apart, just a little. I choke down a few bites, then stop, dizzy and nauseous. The camera in the corner hums softly. I feel watched. I always feel watched. That's how I know he comes back. Not because I hear the door, but because the air changes. My body reacts before my mind catches up. My spine straightens. My breathing turns shallow. Fear crawls up my throat, hot and immediate. I don't look at him at first. I can't. I feel him move through the room, slow and controlled, like he has nowhere else to be. I focus on the floor, on the way my hands are shaking, on the shame burning through me for being caught like this, on the ground, half-fed, half-broken. You ate. His voice is close. Too close. A little, I manage. He doesn't answer. I sense him crouching, his presence lowering to my level without actually becoming less intimidating. I finally force myself to look up. He's studying me again. Not cruelly. Not kindly. Thoroughly. Like he's memorizing the way captivity is reshaping me. You cry easily, he says. I flinch. I'm sorry, I whisper, instinctively apologizing for existing wrong. Something unreadable flickers across his face. You shouldn't be, he replies. It means you haven't gone numb yet. That scares me more than if he'd insulted me. He straightens and circles me slowly, footsteps measured. I track him with my eyes, too afraid to turn my head fully. Every nerve in my body is stretched tight, waiting. You should sleep, Adrian says. I can't, I whisper. You will. I shake my head weakly. I keep thinking, if I sleep, something will happen. His gaze sharpens. Like what? I won't wake up, I admit. Silence. Then, unexpectedly, he shrugs off his jacket and drapes it over my shoulders. The weight of it nearly breaks me. It's warm. Smells like him. Too intimate. Too real. I won't kill you in your sleep, Adrian says calmly. If I wanted you dead, you wouldn't be here. That's not comforting. But it's honest. I pull the jacket tighter around myself without meaning to. My body leans into the warmth like it's been starved of it longer than I realized. He notices. His jaw tightens. Don't mistake restraint for mercy, he says quietly. I nod frantically. I won't. I swear. He watches me for another long moment, then turns away. At dawn, he says, already walking toward the door, you start learning why your brother was stupid enough to steal from me. Fear spikes instantly. What does that mean? It means, Adrian replies without looking back, that this stops being theoretical. The door closes. I curl in on myself, clutching his jacket like it's the only solid thing left in the world. Sleep comes eventually. Not gently. It drags me under kicking and screaming, filled with dreams of locked doors, gunshots, and Adrian's voice saying my name like it belongs to him. When I wake up, my face is wet with tears. And morning is already waiting. Morning doesn't knock. It crashes. Not with noise, but with presence. The mansion shifts around me, the silence tightening until it feels deliberate. I wake tangled in Adrian's jacket on the floor, my body stiff, my head pounding, my mouth dry. For half a second I forget where I am, and then memory slams back in so hard my chest aches. I scramble upright. The door is open. It wasn't when I fell asleep. Panic spikes instantly. I rush to it, heart hammering, peering into the hallway. Two men stand outside. Big, unmoving. They don't look at me like a person. They look at me like an object with instructions attached. One of them inclines his head. You're coming. My knees weaken. Where? My voice comes out hoarse. He doesn't answer. I don't argue. I can't. I follow because my body knows resistance here would be stupid, painful, useless. The hallway feels longer than yesterday, colder. The portraits watch me pass like they know exactly what I am. Collateral. We descend. The mansion opens up as we go lower, less polished, more functional. Marble gives way to concrete. Art to steel doors. The air smells different down here. Metal. Something sharp and permanent. I'm led into a room that makes my breath stop. It's not a torture room like my imagination supplied in the night. It's worse. It's a meeting room. Long table. Screens. Armed men seated casually like this is just another workday. Adrian stands at the head. He looks immaculate. Controlled. Like sleep never touched him. He doesn't acknowledge me at first. He's speaking, low, precise, deadly efficient. Numbers. Names. Locations. I don't understand most of it, and I think that's the point. Then he turns. Sit. I hesitate only long enough to remind myself I'm weak and alive because he allows it. I sit where he indicates, at his right hand. Possession. Placement. Message. The men notice. I feel it. Their eyes flick to me, assessing. Curious. Some amused. None kind. This, Adrian says calmly, resting his hand on the table near me, is Eli. No explanation. No justification. Just fact. He stays. That's all it takes. No one questions it. The meeting continues. I try not to shake. Try not to show how badly I want to disappear. I keep my eyes down, my hands folded tight in my lap, nails digging into my palms to ground myself. Then the screen turns on. And everything inside me goes cold. It's footage. A warehouse. A man on his knees. Blood on concrete. Someone begging. I can't hear the words clearly, but I don't need to. I recognize the sound. I've made it myself in nightmares. My stomach lurches violently. Adrian watches me this time. Your brother did business with men like this? He says quietly, close enough that only I hear. He knew what happened to people who failed. I shake my head, barely breathing. I'm not showing you this to scare you, Adrian continues. Fear fades. I'm showing you this so you understand the math. The man on the screen screams. I flinch so hard my chair scrapes back. That's what unpaid debt looks like, Adrian finishes. The screen goes dark. I press my hands over my mouth, swallowing bile, heart pounding so hard I feel dizzy. Why? My voice breaks. I try again. Why show me this? He leans closer, his shoulder brushing mine. Because you pray your brother comes back alive, Adrian murmurs. And I want you to know what happens if he doesn't. The meeting ends quickly after that. Orders given. People leave. The room empties until it's just us. I don't realize I'm shaking until Adrian grips my wrist. Breathe, he says. I gasp, dragging in air like I've been underwater too long. You didn't faint, he observes. Good. I stare at him, tears blurring my vision. You're a monster. He doesn't deny it. I warned you, Adrian replies. This stops being theoretical. He stands, pulling me up with him effortlessly. I stumble, leaning into his chest before I can stop myself. His hand comes to my back automatically, steadying me. The contact feels wrong. It feels necessary. I hate that. He doesn't push me away. Instead, he lowers his head slightly, his voice quiet, meant only for me. You want your brother alive, Adrian says. So do I. I look up at him, desperate and broken. Then why does it feel like you're punishing me? His gaze hardens. Because you're the leverage, he says. And leverage always hurts. We walk back through the mansion in silence. I don't notice the art anymore. I don't notice the space. All I can see is that screen. That man's knees hitting concrete. Blood spreading. When we reach my room, Adrian stops me at the door. You saw what happens to people who don't belong, he says. Do you know why you're still breathing? I shake my head. Because, he continues, eyes dark and unwavering, you're mine to protect. My heart stutters painfully. That doesn't make me safe, I whisper. No, Adrian agrees. It makes you valuable. The door closes behind me. I sink to the floor, shaking harder than before. Because I understand now. This isn't a cage meant to break me quickly. It's one meant to keep me alive long enough to change me. I know something is wrong before anyone tells me. The mansion feels different. Not louder. Not quieter. Tighter. Like every corridor has pulled its breath in at the same time. The guards outside my door change. Faces I haven't seen before, eyes sharper, fingers closer to triggers. No one speaks to me. That's how I know things are moving. Adrian doesn't come. That's worse than when he does. I pace the room until my legs burn, nerves scraping raw inside my skin. Every few minutes I stop, listening, convinced I've heard footsteps that aren't there. My thoughts spiral uncontrollably, all of them leading back to the same place. He found him. He didn't. Both possibilities terrify me. When the door finally opens, it's abrupt. No warning. Two men step in, one behind the other. I freeze mid-step, heart slamming so hard I feel dizzy. You're coming, one says. My mouth goes dry. Where? No answer. They don't touch me this time. They don't need to. I follow because my body has learned the rules faster than my mind ever could. We move quickly, turns taken without pause, like they already know exactly where I'm going. We don't go down. We go outside. The air hits me hard, cold, sharp, real. It steals my breath. I haven't been outside since I was dragged here. The grounds stretch wide and manicured, beautiful in a way that feels cruel. A black SUV waits near the drive, engine running. Adrian stands beside it. He looks different. Not softer. Not kinder. Just tighter. His jaw is set, eyes dark and alert, suit immaculate as always, but something restless coils beneath it. Violence not yet spent. He looks at me. Holds my gaze longer than usual. Get in, he says. I obey. The car moves almost immediately, tires crunching over gravel, gates opening without pause. No music. No conversation. Just motion. My heart races the entire time. Is this about my brother? I finally ask, unable to take the silence anymore. Yes. One word. My fingers dig into my palms. Is he alive? Adrian cuts in. Relief hits me so hard I nearly choke on it. My vision blurs, chest tightening painfully as I struggle to breathe through it. Thank you, I whisper, the word falling out of me before I can stop it. He doesn't respond. The car slows near a warehouse on the edge of the city. It looks abandoned. Of course it isn't. Men wait outside. Watching. Ready. My stomach sinks. You're not staying in the car, Adrian says. Fear spikes instantly. What? You're coming inside. My pulse skyrockets. Why? Because, he replies calmly, your brother needs to see what his choices cost. I shake my head violently. No. Please. I can't. Adrian turns to me fully then. His gaze is unyielding. You will, he says. And you will not speak unless spoken to. I nod. I don't trust my voice. Inside, the warehouse is bright and brutal. Floodlights illuminate the center of the space. And there, on his knees, hands bound, face swollen and bloody. My brother. The sound that leaves me isn't human. Eli. He tries to stand when he sees me. Someone shoves him back down immediately. He looks worse than I imagined. Worse than my nightmares. Blood on his mouth. One eye nearly swollen shut. Still breathing. Still alive. That's all I can see. What did you do? I whisper, my body trembling violently. His gaze flicks to Adrian, then back to me. Shame floods his face. I didn't think he'd take you, he chokes. I swear I didn't. Adrian steps forward. You knew, he says calmly. You always know. You just never care. My brother drops his head. I'll pay you back, he says hoarsely. I have the money. I was just buying time. Time, Adrian repeats softly, is what you ran out of. I take a step forward before I can stop myself. Please. He's here now. He's alive. Let him pay. Let him go. Adrian looks at me. Really looks. This is why I brought you, he says quietly. Because he won't tell the truth to me. His gaze shifts back to my brother. Tell him, Adrian orders. My brother swallows hard. I sold part of the information. Not all of it. The rest is hidden. I can get it. I just need. How long? Adrian asks. 2 days. Silence. Then Adrian nods once. Fine. My heart leaps. You have 48 hours, Adrian continues. If you return with everything intact, you walk. I gasp softly. And if you don't, Adrian adds, turning his gaze back to me, Eli stays. My brother looks at me in horror. No. Adrian raises a hand. Choose, he says calmly. My brother's shoulders sag. He nods desperately. I'll do it. I swear. Adrian steps back. Take him, he orders. They drag my brother to his feet. As they pass me, he looks at me, really looks, and I see it. Guilt. Fear. All too late. I'm sorry, he whispers. I don't answer. I can't. The warehouse empties quickly. Soon it's just Adrian and me again. My legs finally give out. I sink onto a crate, shaking uncontrollably. He'll come back, I whisper. Yes, Adrian says. You're sure? He steps closer, stopping just in front of me. His hand lifts, thumb brushing a tear I didn't realize had fallen. Because if he doesn't, he says quietly, you'll stop being leverage. My heart stutters. What will I be? His gaze darkens. Mine, Adrian answers. And for the first time, I realize the most dangerous thing here isn't the guns. It's the certainty in his voice. The second day passed quietly at first, almost like the mansion itself was holding its breath. I barely moved, barely ate, my mind caught in a whirlwind of thoughts about my brother, who was alive and under medical care. Adrian had said so casually, as if it was nothing extraordinary. I released him, Adrian had said in his usual calm, unshakable tone. He's under medical care. He'll recover. Don't worry about him, Eli. I blinked, trying to process it. Relief surged, sharp and hot, like fire in my chest. My brother, alive? My mind leapt forward, imagining him healed, safe. And for a split second, I thought maybe he had managed to repay his debt. But Adrian didn't give me a chance to linger on the thought. You don't need to think about him. He's not your problem anymore. The words hit me harder than any threat could. The one person I had been holding onto outside of this nightmare. He was safe, yes, but Adrian had reminded me that I had no claim to protect him. My brother's life was out of my hands. The rest of the day crawled. Adrian didn't leave the mansion once. I noticed the small things. His silence, the way he didn't appear in the corridors, the faint tension in the air around his presence. My mind replayed yesterday, the warehouse, the release, the impossible weight of it all. And somewhere in that endless spinning, I realized I couldn't stop thinking about him, about Adrian. Evening came and I could no longer hold still. Something gnawed at my chest, a mixture of unease and worry, though I couldn't admit what kind. I knocked gently on his door. No answer. I knocked again, louder this time, urgency cracking my voice. Adrian? Still nothing. A cold dread settled in my stomach. I opened the door slowly, afraid of what I might find. My eyes landed on him immediately. He was slumped over the table, head resting on folded arms. Empty bottles scattered around him. The sharp scent of alcohol and smoke cut through the air, pungent and bitter. His black sleeves were rolled up, revealing tense, pale forearms. For the first time, I saw him not as the untouchable, merciless alpha, but as a man broken and alone. Adrian, my voice wavered. He didn't move. Didn't even lift his head. My chest tightened painfully. I hated seeing him like this. Hated feeling this helplessness pressing down on me. I stepped closer, cautiously, until I could reach him. My fingers brushed his arm. Cold. Tut. I swallowed hard, struggling to keep my own shaking under control. Then quietly he murmured, almost to himself, "She's gone. My mother is gone." He lifted his head slightly. The usual sharpness in his eyes was gone, replaced by hollow grief and exhaustion. Yes. I felt a pang deep in my chest. The only woman who had ever been a fixed point in his life, dead. And here he was, alone, drowning in it. Without thinking, I crouched beside him. "I'm so sorry, Adrian," I whispered, voice trembling. My hand found his back, resting lightly. Tentative. Comforting. I could feel him shiver slightly under my touch. He didn't respond immediately. Just leaned into my hand as if letting himself feel the weight of it. I wanted to say something, anything, to ease the emptiness in him, but the words felt small, inadequate. His shoulders shook slightly. A sound left his throat, raw and low. I had never heard him like this. Vulnerable. Human. And it hit me harder than any threat, any danger I'd ever felt. Am I allowed to cry? I placed a hand on his shoulder, then another lightly against his head. You're allowed to cry, I said softly. It's okay to be hurt. It doesn't make you weak. He finally raised his eyes to me, glossy, haunted. For a moment, the distance between us, the fear, the control, the danger, slipped away. I saw a man, not a monster, not an alpha. Just a man who had lost someone he loved. And somehow, I wanted to hold him. To keep him safe. To be the only thing that mattered when the world had gone cruel. I don't know what to do without her, he admitted in a low voice. I swallowed hard, the words catching in my throat. I didn't respond. I didn't know what to say to him as I watched as he closed his eyes, leaning into me slightly. My heart raced in my chest, not fear this time, but something darker, warmer, dangerous. The need to be near him. The desire to comfort him, to touch him, to be his tether in the storm. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. I didn't just want to comfort Adrian. I wanted to be needed by him. I wanted to matter to him in a way no one else could. The bottles on the table glinted in the dim light. The mansion was silent around us. The loneliness and grief hung thick in the air, but somehow, for the first time, I felt a connection amidst the despair. I couldn't say it aloud yet, not that I even fully understood it, but something had shifted. I wasn't just his captive anymore. I was the one who could stay, the one who could reach him, the one who mattered. And the thought both terrified and consumed me. Days later, everything changed. He treated me like I was untouchable, like I belonged in a world I had never known. Expensive suits appeared in my wardrobe, my room transformed into something out of a magazine, and he even assigned me a bodyguard and a maid, ready at a moment's notice. His words toward me were never harsh, never sharp, not even once. I didn't ask to leave the mansion, not that I knew why I stayed. Something in his gaze held me. Soft, careful, almost gentle, but only for me. I remembered, just days before, how I had caught him in the basement, methodically torturing someone to death. The contrast made my head spin. He took me to places I had never seen, whispered secrets, laughed quietly at my astonishment, and then, one evening, he confessed. I love you, he said, voice low but steady, eyes locked on mine. I froze. No words came. I won't force you to answer, he added after a pause. Take your time. Later, I visited my brother. His words struck me like a whip. You need to leave, he said, gripping my shoulders. He'll use you, then kill you. Don't trust him. He has two sides. Come with me, let's get out of this city now. I couldn't stop thinking about my brother's warning as I walked toward home, my mind spinning with fear and doubt. And then I saw him, standing at the front door of the parlor, eyes fixed on me. My chest tightened. You can leave if you want, he said quietly, his voice soft but steady. I don't want to be a burden to someone I love. Something inside me shifted. My resolve crumbled, and before I knew it, I was rushing into his arms, pressing myself against him. I didn't know what had pushed me, fear, desire, or maybe love. My heart thudded wildly, my thoughts a tangled mess, but not once did I regret the choice I made. As for my brother, he had left the city without me. His parting words lingered in my mind. If Adrian ever hurt me, I was to call him immediately. I didn't know what the future held, but for the first time in a long while, I felt certain. I had followed my heart, and somehow, I trusted it wouldn't fail me. Or did I make a wrong choice?